How are you all doing? Namaskara, namaste. Is my voice audible? Is my voice audible? Is my voice nice? Both. Yes, thank you. So let's try to revise whatever we have learned yesterday, and we can discuss static support and resistance in today's class so that we can combine both and identify more opportunities. So let me just wait for one more minute so that others can join in. Vanashri, madam, namaste. Watch list 3 is pending, that I'll give you tomorrow because I have to give you some task to do for today. Yes, Raviji, it is an extension because 50 SMA and 200 SMA is dynamic support and resistance, right? Because it will be moving like a snake in terms of variation in the prices. So whenever candles touching this moving averages, it will act as support or resistance, right? So let me try to take a persistent system. Yes, Nehaji, I'll show you how to draw a bearish trend line and bullish trend line. Vishalji, today there was a bearish sentiment in TVS Motors. That's okay. That's okay. Swastikji, don't worry. Just concentrate on learning now. Don't trade because by the time you learn something, by then you would have, spent all the money via losses because you're in a learning phase. Please stay away from trading. Yes. I want everybody to refrain from asking questions. As I was waiting for other people to join in, I was trying to discuss. Anjanji, questions at the back end of the session. It's a request. So these moving averages are considered as dynamic support and resistance. Why do we call it as a dynamic? Don't you think it's going according to the candle's price appreciation here? And whenever candles are coming closer to such 50 moving average, don't you think it is acting as a beautiful support and then it is trying to push candle upward? Yes or no? Yes, no, yes. So these moving averages are considered as dynamic support and resistance because they're not static. They are changing according to the price appreciation in the candle, right? Because these moving averages are plotted based on past candles close price average, right? So definitely it has to change if the candle close price is increasing accordingly. And don't you think this 200 SMA was acting as a beautiful resistance here for the candles continuously? Yes, right. So that's why we call moving averages as dynamic support and resistances. Kalyan Reddy ji, as I requested yesterday, I'll not repeat it. Please keep your questions at the back end of the session. So please concentrate on the present day's learning. Good evening, Purnimaji. So these moving averages are considered as dynamic support and resistances. You can see 200 SMA was acting as a resistance and the year 50 SMA it is acting as a support, right? So that is the beauty of moving averages. It's called as dynamic. Today we'll be learning static support and resistances. Those are the horizontal lines which will act perfect support and resistances in daily time frame, which will help you to identify proper reversal point or proper entry point. Is that okay? Shall we discuss that? So to discuss that, let me take off these two moving averages, and after learning that concept, we can add it back. Okay, let me delete this. Okay, so let me take Kotak Bank. So I want you guys to understand. I want you guys to tell me, what do you mean by a support? Say, for example, can I consider this zone as a support? The bearish trend was converted into a bullish trend. Why? Because candles could not pass below this particular level. So zone, this zone is acting as a zone of support. The area which is trying to convert a bearish trend into bullish trend is called as support area. From where trend is trying to reverse is called as zone of support. Can I consider this to be a zone of support? Because bearish trend was converted into bullish trend. So can I consider this to be a zone of support? Yes. So can I consider this to be a zone of support? The support, it can be like a zone. It is not an exact line. Okay. So a bearish trend was converted into bullish trend. So this can also be considered as a zone of support because bearish trend was converted into bullish trend. And don't you think there's a beautiful V shape which is visible here? At the zone of support, you can see a beautiful V shape, right? So this will help you to identify a zone of support beautifully. See, whenever there's a zone of support, there must be a beautiful reversal which will give rise to V-shaped movement, right? So Astikji, you learned support and resistance with Marubozu candle, but I'm trying to teach you something very basic. Okay, I'm a simple guy. I try to look at concepts in a simple form. Okay, so can I consider this to be a zone of resistance? A zone of resistance is one which will convert a bullish trend into a bearish trend. One-day time frame. Please use one-day time frame for swing investment. Can I consider this to be a zone of resistance because candles didn't have enough money power to break this particular ceiling or level? So only there was a beautiful retracement. Do you see inverted V shape at the zone of resistance? Just a visual representation. Can I consider this to be a zone of resistance? The bullish trend was converted into a bearish trend, right? So can I consider this to be uh, a zone of resistance because bullish trend was converted into bearish trend? Here also I can consider it to be a zone of resistance because bullish trend was converted into bearish trend, right? So are you guys clear how to identify zone of support and zone of resistances? Zone of support is an area where bullish trend is converted into a bearish trend, bearish is converted into bullish, that area is called as support. And a zone of resistance is an area where bullish trend is converted into bearish. Simple explanation of support and resistances. At support area, you'll have a lot of buyers, okay, which is also called as demand area in a complicated format of analysis. And when it comes to resistance, that's where you'll see a lot of sellers that can act as a supply zone. That is the advanced method of understanding it. But I'm trying to explain very simple methods, okay, which will give you very good analysis with respect to this. Now, the point is how to draw static support and resistance line. What do we mean by static support and resistance line? It is one single line which is joining a zone of support and one zone of resistance, which are trying to fall on the same line. First, you need to identify a zone of support and you need to identify a zone of resistance, which are available on the same line. Then you're trying to join that line. This line is such a powerful line. It will act as a powerful support and resistance. This is where all big players try to invest or try to book their profits. This is how you can identify the footprints of big players. Let me just try to do that for you. Okay. Can I consider this to be a zone of resistance? Because bullish trend was converted into bearish trend. So can I consider this to be zone of support? Purnimaji, it may be strong or weak. Do we have a inverted V format here? Forget whether it's strong or weak. I'm trying to identify those two zones on the same line. This is a new concept. Okay. Do we have a V shape movement here? And do you have this zone on the same line? Let me join these two zones with a horizontal line. Okay. So what is the advantage of joining these 2 points? I've joined a zone of resistance with a zone of support. Are you guys clear? How did I draw this particular line here by taking some random chart and identifying a zone of support and zone of resistance and joining these two both. And what is the advantage of it? Once you identify such line, don't you think there were beautiful reversals at these points, which happened in the future? You drew this line much earlier, and don't you think there are beautiful rejection exactly at these levels? It can be acting as either support or resistance. At least you are aware that there can be some of a reversal, right? Don't you think that's brilliant? Because you identified these kind of zones much earlier with the help of only two zones, that is zone of support and zone of resistance, right? So let me try to draw other SR lines. So can I consider this to be a zone of support and this is a zone of resistance, which are trying to fall on the same line? And let me join these 2 points, these two zones. So after drawing this, if we try to see, do we have a beautiful rejection at this line? So you're trying to predict the psychological level where there can be a reversal much before. Say, for example, you drew this somewhere in January, and this level was respected somewhere in June. Do we have the same level being respected in September also? Yes or no? कितना तेजस्वी लोग हैं हमारे ग्रुप में, yes नहीं बोलते. So there are three beautiful rejections. You were able to predict these three rejections much earlier because you drew that SR line, which will act as a brilliant psychological level for investors as well as traders. So let me take some random stock, say for example, Coal India. Okay. So can I consider this to be as a zone of resistance and can I consider this to be a zone of support? Yes or no? Let me join this zone. Do we have a beautiful rejections at these two levels? Let me take Nifty 50. Let me take Nifty 50 for that example. Can I consider this to be a very good zone of resistance and zone of support? So whenever a Nifty 50 is approaching this level, will you be careful? See what I'm trying to tell you, you have certain signs where you can be careful, right? So say for example, can I consider this to be a beautiful zone of resistance and this to be a beautiful zone of support? And by joining this, is there any recent rejections? Because this will be a beautiful psychological level, be it index or be it stock in daily time frame. If you are able to draw that, it will work beautifully. Okay, let me try to take yes, it will be only horizontal. It will be horizontal only. Say for example, how to join, I'll just repeat it. Jaspreet Singh ji, आज की शाम आपके नाम. So this is a zone of support and this is a zone of resistance. Yes or no? Jaspreet ji. So let me take a horizontal line here. This is the horizontal line that I'm trying to take. I'm just trying to click here. So it is joining these two zones. Do we have a beautiful rejection here? So how much point you got at this rejection? Getting 2000 points in Nifty 50 is brilliant because that rejection exactly happened at this particular area. Yes or no? At least you are trying to understand how to identify those psychological levels decided by big players, right? And whenever Nifty is trying to approach this level, don't you think you'll be more careful? There are two possibilities. What is the first possibility? It can retrace and it can go up. This is the first possibility. Second possibility, it can break and it can fall to the next SAR level. These are the two possibilities. Third possibility is that it can take rest via consolidation on this line. These are the only three possibilities which are possible. Yes or no? So at least you are aware that there is some psychological level which is available here. There can be hundreds of SR line, but what you're supposed to do, try to identify. See, today's candle is somewhere here. Yes, right. So try to identify one SR line above and one SR line below. That is more than enough for you, because you don't have to draw hundreds of lines, right? So anyways, by understanding this beautiful SR line here, okay, let me just check if we can draw any SR line above the present LTP, right? So let me just check. So there is a zone of support here and a zone of resistance here, right? So if I try to join these two zones, so what is the present area? Don't you think it is at support area? Don't you think the present day candle is resting on the psychological level? Purnimaji, can you just concentrate on the present point of discussion? Because I'm trying to help you to understand the market through my lens. You can change the lens later, right? So if you understand how do I think, then it will help you a lot, right? Because for everything, if we try to understand things relatively, so everybody cannot make like this, right? So you need to understand, how did I make 1 lakh rupees today also, right? So it's not easy to make 1 lakh rupees every day in index. So it requires 7 years of experience, and you should understand how do I think through my lens. If we keep comparing the concepts, then you might lose something very brilliant, because I'm trying to explain this because market was choppy today. There was no movement, right? So in choppy market making 1 lakh, imagine if the market is trending. But at least you should be aware that from the person you're trying to learn is making money in the first place, right? So it's a request, do not compare topics. It will affect your learning, right? So complete full module, whichever strategy suits your taste. It's like a buffet. You have so many items. Try to taste every item, whichever is good for your taste. Then you can, heat that particular food to your heart's content, right? So it's a request. Please learn things now. So don't you think, it is exactly resting on psychological level? So say for example, there are three possibilities tomorrow. What are those three possibilities? First thing, it can take a beautiful support and it can go up. Second thing, it can break this psychological level and it can fall up to the next psychological level that we drew few minutes ago. Or else it can take some rest via consolidation here. Yes or no? Because we don't know what will happen tomorrow. We are trying to understand the possibilities, right? So trading is just a game of probability, right? So we should analyze all the probability. What is suiting to our setup, we'll stick to it, right? So trading in index is like flirting with a girl. One wrong move, you're married. So you need to be careful. So one wrong move in the market, you will be in loss. So that's how you need to be very careful. So are you guys trying to understand what is the power of SR line here? So let's go to Nifty Bank. Let's try to understand, are there any psychological levels? See, what is today's price action? It is somewhere here. Today's candle is somewhere here. So what is the analysis that I'm supposed to do? Let me identify at least one SR line above, which will act as psychological level, which can act as a resistance, and one SR line below. Okay, those two zones, it should occur naturally. We cannot fit. You cannot join two supports or two resistances. You have to join one zone of support, one zone of resistance, which is occurring naturally. Okay, so this is a zone of resistance. You can consider this a zone of resistance, and you can consider this a zone of support. I'm trying to join these two zones. Okay, so this is today's close price. There's a gap, there is an immediate psychological level here. So whenever it is closing to this, what is the value here? 39,300. So whenever market is hovering near 39,300, will you be a bit careful? There can be reversal. That's what I'm trying to tell. Okay, please be careful whenever market is very near to this psychological levels. So let me just zoom on to identify opportunities, to identify a SR line above the present. Yeah, it has to just cross through the zone. It might not touch the exact points, right? So could we have a beautiful zone of resistance here? Just identify the peak and try to draw a circle. Okay, let me try to join these two circles. So let's check. Don't you think recently there was a beautiful rejection and market Bank Nifty fell very badly from this point onwards, which was exactly at the SR line that we have drawn, right? So now what is the thing that you need to learn? So it is exactly between two SR lines. There are two psychological levels. One is on top of it, the other one is at the bottom. There can be two possibilities, three possibilities for tomorrow. First thing, it can fall further and take support at this psychological level, or it can go up and face resistance at this psychological level. So these are the two possibilities, right? And it can take rest in the form of consolidation at this area, right? These are the only three possibilities which are possible for tomorrow. Yes or no? So you can apply the same logic for everything, right? Let me try to check crude oil, because I'll be teaching you crude oil also. When it comes to crude oil, the data is very less because we are trying to analyze futures. So for crude oil, you will be using hourly time frame. Okay, so that the notes I'll give you later, but as of now, please concentrate. So this is a zone of support and this is a zone of resistance. If I join these two zones, don't you think there was a beautiful rejection today? See, at 4 o'clock in the evening, there was a beautiful rejection. Okay, so crude oil will be running till 11:45. That's why I say there is 13 hours of trading in crude oil. Make some money. So let me shift to 15 minutes because we'll be using 15 minutes time frame. So even in 15 minutes, see how beautifully you can see this rejection. So when it comes to crude oil, we'll be trading options, but let me just try to check what's happening in crude oil now. So let me open the market depth. So these are the uh, values which is running. So the blue part is the bid and the red part is offers. Okay, let's see what will happen with crude oil in some time according to the SR line. Okay, yes, Purnima ji, the volume will be very less, but the crude oil is the most liquid, okay, compared to other contracts. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you an example. So let me take persistent system. So when it comes to stock or index, please do analysis in 1 day time frame, or when it comes to commodity, please do analysis in hourly time frame to draw SR lines. Is that clear? So let me try to draw. Is there any possibility, say for example, the present day candle is somewhere here. Now please tell me, can I draw any SR line above here? This is a surprise test. Is there any possibility to draw? No. Why so? Because you can have only the peaks of resistance because there's that all-time high. we cannot find neither support nor resistance points. Hence, we cannot draw any error lines, right? So let me try to identify a zone somewhere below this. At least we can get to know where it can try to retrace, right? We have a zone of resistance, resistance, and a zone of resistance and resistance. So definitely I cannot draw any SR lines here, but I can draw one line here. So this is a zone of support and this is a zone of resistance. By joining these two, you might get a reversal here, and you can see how beautifully it was respected here also as a support and here also as a zone of resistance. Are you guys understanding it? How beautifully it worked? Okay, so let me just try to take why not 4500. So at 4500 we have a beautiful resistance. Are you trying to refer this as a support map, Anushriji? Yes, that's why I drew a lot of V shape. Is there any V shape here to identify it as a zone of support? Do we see no V shape, right? Anushriji, did you get the point? V for victory. If you try to identify such V shape, then only you get perfect method of drawing lines. Okay, so can I expect you guys to plot SR lines for at least 5 stocks which are available on list number 1 and post it in the group so that others can also evaluate and you guys can enrich your knowledge. Okay, so this is very powerful. Okay, so that's why I'm trying to tell you, it will work beautifully. Okay, let me take some other stock. Okay, so how do we use this logic along with the golden cross? So let me try to apply the moving averages now. Now I think you guys are clear how to draw static support and resistance, right? By joining a zone of support and zone of resistance, and that line, see, this line will be respected in future also, right? It will be respected in future also. So in future reference, if you draw lines, it will work beautifully. Okay, so let me just check what's happening in crude oil in 15 minutes. So what is the present value of crude oil? 6397. Yes, can you all type this value? 6397 is the present value which is running. Okay, this is the 6397. So it will become 6387 in some time. Let's watch. This will become 6387, a 10 points fall from 6397 in some time. Meanwhile, let me just analyze some other stock. Okay, let me apply TVS Motors. Okay, TVS Motors. Okay, please hold the stock because we have 1 month time to realize profits. Let me add moving averages, 50, simple moving average. Okay, and 200 SMA. So this is 200. Do we have a target getting achieved? 6388. So we need 6387 to get 10 points target. Is it? It's 6386 now. Yes or no? Do you guys see this value, crude oil? So we got 10 points profit. So the lot size is 100. So 100 into 10 is 1000 rupees in just 2 minutes. Now it is 6385. So what is the low? Low is too far. So 1000 rupees profit in 2 minutes. So many people would have be watching some serial and you guys are minting. You can see 6383. It is falling below the level, whatever we predicted, 6382, 6379. Let me just show you. See, such a beautiful fall. We predicted this fall 2 minutes before. 6370. So you got 20 points. So it was around 6397 when we watched, because you guys typed it, right? Yes or no? 6397 was the value which we saw 2 minutes back. Now it is 6370. How many points profit? If it becomes 6367, it is 30 points, right? Let us wait, it becomes 6367, 6369. Just 2 more points to get 30 points. 6368, 6366. We got 30 points, target achieved. So what is the lot size? 100, right? So let me try to check the margin. We got 30 in how many minutes? I'm just trying to give you a glimpse of my accuracy. Okay, so I'm a daily wage labor. I have to do something to earn my bread. In 3 minutes, you capture 30 points. Let's see what is the actual, profit you made. So crude oil, what is the lot size? 100. Okay. So I'll be teaching you how to trade the options. Okay. So brokerage. Anyways, let's try to understand this. So which commodity we traded observed. So we sold at 6397. 6397 we sold, and it fell to 6367. 30 points target with one lot. Okay. So the actual gross profit is 3000. Brokerage is 40. The other taxation, including everything, you will be deducted 165 rupees as a total charges, and you made 2800 rupees in 3 minutes. Because whenever you prepare Maggie, they say 2 minutes, it will take 10 minutes to prepare, but you made 2800 rupees in just 3 minutes. So we predicted this fall. This was a green candle when you saw. I predicted it will become red candle. And you can see how beautifully, let us see what is the low. So let me just try to take what is the low of this? 6365. Please write down what is the low. 6365. It will break 6365 also after something. Just note down somewhere 6365. Okay, we'll come back to this later. Okay, let's go ahead and analyze swing investment. We'll discuss intraday later. So the low is 6365. It has to break 6365 and it should fall 6355. At least if I capture 10 rupees, 10 points, I'll get 1000 rupees. So that's good enough for today's biryani. So it is at 6365. Let's see, it is at the threshold level. Just keep looking at this value. So it will break and it will fall 6364, 61. So let me draw a horizontal line at 6355. This is the horizontal line. It should touch this line to get a 10 points target achieved. So let it retrace. This green candle will become red candle and it will touch this line. So before that, let me just try to, many people will feel, oh, it is trying to retrace. So it might touch this level. Let's see. We'll check Infosys. Anyways, we are in a profit of 3000 rupees. We should not be greedy. I'm a needy person. I'm not greedy. So who will give you 3000 rupees for 2 minutes? So you have 13 hours of trading. For every hour, you can make 9000 rupees. So let me try to draw. Can I expect you guys to do homework for SR line and post it in the group? Thank you, Yogesh. Yes. See, you should predict the moment before the actual moment. Then only you can make money, right? See, whatever analysis that you're trying to do, it's a post-mortem analysis. Because there is a rejection, you're trying to draw levels. But what we did a few minutes back is what you should do. Then only you'll make money. So let's go ahead. We'll discuss that when we discuss intraday. We are still at swing investment level. So this is, do we have any beautiful, see, this is the present day candle, right? This is present day candle. Yes. So let me identify at least two levels, one above and one below. so that I'll get to see a beautiful psychological level. Can I consider this to be, let me remove this is, can I consider this to be a zone of support, and can I consider this to be a zone of resistance? By joining these two, do we have a beautiful psychological level above? So whenever you have this level, will be a bit careful. So it is at 6360, 6358. So 635859. Just keep looking at it. Your target will be achieved. 5957. It's like a cricket match. So do we win the match here? 57. We need just 2 more points to achieve our target. Let me just check open crude oil in 15 minutes. This is the line that I've drawn. So 6356. Just one more point. Yes, 6355. So kitna tejasvi log hai. You guys are like my lucky charm because you guys were present in today's session. I was able to capture 40 points. You guys are Lakshmi in human form. So 6350. We are trying to get more points here. The level that I marked, is it touched here? Yes or no? So it was a green candle. When I marked, it was a green candle. Do you remember? See, there are two ways of thinking. Just looking at green candle and being very fearful, or in spite of being a green candle, you should have that conviction that it will become red candle and it will break that level. That comes from 7 years of experience. जितेंद्र जी हिंदी में एक बार देखो जी। जितेंद्र जी आपके लिए हिंदी में गुजारिश, मेरा हिंदी उतना अच्छा नहीं है, थोड़ा मैं ट्राई करता हूँ। देखो, मैं क्रूड ऑयल आपके सामने 6397, अभी हमको 6347 भी मिल गया। मैंने क्या बोला था? 6397 के पास मैंने बोला था एक गिरेगा, उस समय ग्रीन कैंडल था। ओके, बाद में मेरा कन्विक्शन राइट होके हमको 50 पॉइंट मिला, पूरा 50 पॉइंट। अब तक 50 पॉइंट गिरा। सो लॉट साइज 100 है, 100 इंटू 50 पॉइंट 5000 हो गया। ओके, और एक बार हमने 6367 के कैसे प्रेडिक्ट किया, आप मेरा सेटअप सीखना है, वो सीखेंगे बाद में। ये थोड़ा एक्सपीरियंस से आता है। देखो, जामुन और कुछ स्वीट, रसमलाई स्वीट देखने में और खाने में बहुत फर्क है। अभी देख रहे हो, बाद में आप खा सकते हो सेटअप के बाद। मेरा स्ट्रेटेजी समझ में नहीं, दिल में आता है डायरेक्ट। डर के आगे जीते, जीत के आगे मेरा सेटअप। जितेंद्र जी, इट मैच्ड विथ योर नेम। जीत, आपकी नेम में जीत है। सो डिड इट टच द टारगेट? So it is going below. So will it touch 6337? Let's see. So 6344, 6343, at least 6342. So 6340, 6339, 6333. Did it touch 6337? Right in front of your eyes. When we saw it was 6348. जितेंद्र जी, मैंने आपसे हिंदी में बात कर रहा था, उस समय वो 6348 था। उस समय हमने एक सवाल लिया, ये 6337 रीच होगा या नहीं। हमारे आंखों के सामने 6333 हो गया। सो मेहनत से आता है। ओके, सो मुझे किसी ने पूछा आप कहाँ से आ रहे हो, मैंने बताया मेहनत से। ओके, सो विल इट टच 6327? यस, इट इज 6329। 27 टच होगा क्या? 27 भी टच हो गया, 26 भी हो गया। देखो, अच्छी तरीके से गिर रहा है। ए लेवल टूटने के बाद देखो कितना पॉइंट्स मिला आपको। इस लो टूटेगा क्या, इस लेवल टूटेगा क्या देखेंगे बाद में। अभी तो हम 70 पॉइंट्स प्रॉफिट में हैं। सो लेट मी जस्ट कैलकुलेट इन जस्ट 10 मिनट्स हाउ मच मनी यू मेड, दैट टू रात में। जस्ट अ मिनट, क्रूड ऑयल कितना है आपने हम दिया, कितना में लिखना, 6397 में दिखा था हमको, 6327 तक गिरा। ओके, I'll teach you how to trade it in 20,000 rupees, Vaishali ji. Please wait until that, when we discuss crude oil, we'll tell you how to use this. So 165 rupees will go and 6,835. So this is a beautiful profit rate because we work so hard in 9 to 5 job to earn good money. So whenever things like this happen, this will act as a beautiful secondary source, right? I'm not greedy, I'm a needy person. मुझे daily बिरयानी के लिए इतना कमाना जरूरी है। सो 6317 जाएगा, देखेंगे। 6323 हो गया, 6323। अभी मेरा जिंदगी क्रूड ऑयल के हाथ में है। सो 6317 जाएगा, देखेंगे। सो लेट्स will this level be breached? We'll see that later. Let's come back to which is the stock Infosys. Let me go to daily time frame. मजा आया आपको प्रेडिक्शन देके? Okay, so let's go ahead. लाजवाब। सो अभी देखेंगे। मैं डायलॉग बहुत अच्छे से मारते हैं, थैंक यू जी। सो आप एक लाइन आइडेंटिफाई करो यार। कैन यू ऑल प्लीज आइडेंटिफाई सम लेवल व्हिच कैन एक्ट एज अ सपोर्ट हियर? You just tell me the share value, I'll draw the line. 1550, 1460. Let me just draw 1550, 1540. Let me just check. Do we have a zone of support and resistance here? We have a beautiful resistance, and where is the support? Is there any support on this line? Right side, this one. Swastik. ये V shape नहीं है on January. वो लाइन हम नहीं ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं, so it's tough to draw that line. 1512, let me draw, because I'm trying to blindly draw according to your values. मेरा जिंदगी आपके हाथ में है। So 1400, let me just try to draw 1400. Okay, we have zone of support. A support, I need resistance to join, and we have a beautiful resistance. So that's a beautiful level. That's very nice. Venuji, you identified it very well. Brilliant. Keep up the good work. I just open some other stop. Please suggest me a level. I'll draw blindly and I'll check later. Suggest me the level. Three, 4, 5, 2. Let me draw 3, 3, 4, 5, 2. Somewhere here. Oh, I've chosen this 3450. Let me take and this one 3, 4. Beautiful. So we have a support, you have a resistance, you have this support. Using these two zones, you would have drawn this line and how beautifully it worked here also, and here also. The present condition is that it is trying to take support on this SR line. Yes or no? Let me just look at it. 6321 is the low, right? So our target is 6317. Let us see by the time we finish this session, will it break 6321? Because our target is 6317. So don't you think our target is below today's low? Yes or no? The presently it is running at 6324. My target is below the low. You can see the low here, right? 6321. Yes or no? So will it go below 6321? It must go according to my conviction. Let's look at it later. So I'll just open some other stock, say for example HDFC. UBC, yeah. Please tell me the levels. 2500. Let me just blindly draw level at 2500. मेरा drawing थोड़ा खराब है, थोड़ा adjust कर लेना. Is this level right? So I've drawn the level at 2500. Is this level right? Can you all please review? Because 2500 was suggested by many people. So what is the low? 6315. Did it breach 6321 to reach our target, that is 6317? 6314. Now it is 6315. Did it reach our target by breaking low? That is the conviction you need to have. So many people are very fearful. Will it break the low? My target was below the low, right? So do you remember I drew this line much earlier saying this line will also be breached. The present candle, did it breach? Yes or no? So the new low is 6314. What is the new low? 6314. So before making a new low, it gave a beautiful target of 6317. So that is the reasons for such confidence is you guys. You guys are my confidence. So मशहूर होने की ख्वाहिश नहीं है हमें, मशहूर होने की ख्वाहिश नहीं है हमें, आप लोग मुझे पहचानते हो बस इतना ही काफी है. Okay, so we have got 80 points. 80 points. Venuji want the translation in English. Say for example, I don't want to become famous. Just because you guys recognize me, that's equivalent to becoming world famous. Okay, so on this positive note, we'll just wind up today's session. And can I expect you guys to draw lines on few stocks and post it in the group? Because it will be a very good exercise for you guys also to identify perfect lines, and others can also do peer review. Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for being a wonderful audience. Okay, so I'm really grateful for giving me an opportunity to share my ideas. So thank you so much. So good night, take care. So ಶುಭರಾತ್ರಿ, ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಪ್ರೀತಿಗಾಗಿ, ಪ್ರೀತಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಯೋಗಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಂದ. ಸೊ ಶಬ ಕೇರ್, బాగా తినండి, పంకోండి, కష్టపడాలి, మీ కడిచేది కడిచని అడిపోలి. Thank you so much. Kalyan Reddy ji, just hold the stock TVS Motor, you will get 10%. You just saw what happened here in shorter time frame, right? It will work in higher time frame also. Please just hold, have faith and trust in the process. It will work for you. Thank you so much, and please share your reviews of today's class. How you saw the crude oil, which is making continuous low after our prediction, because many people are not joining the class. They're trying to watch recorded videos, right? So I just want them to get the first-hand experience. Can I expect all of you to drop your reviews of today's class in the group so that others can also join? Thank you so much. Thank you. Good night. So we shall catch up tomorrow. So Jitendra ji, आपके नाम में जीत है, डर के आगे जीत है, जीत के आगे मेरा सेटअप. So thank you so much. हार कर जीतने वाले को बाजार के बाजीगर बोलते हैं. Good night. Take care. Thank you.